let's talk Halo for a minute and Xbox in general. Did you see the reports that Halo Studios are ditching a Battle Royale in favor of an extraction shooter for an upcoming project right here? The report right here, they apparently have been working on a Battle Royale for years, but they just decided to scrap the entire thing, instead pivoting to the extraction shooter genre like Escape from Tarkov or Marathon. Vera, I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
What a terrible decision. I think that extraction shooters are extremely hard to do successfully simply because extraction games at their core are for a more competitive audience. And we see that being a problem with Marathon. It's been described by a lot of people as too difficult, too complicated. In things like Marathon, there are forced wipes. Escape from Tarkov has them as well. And the reason why Arc Raiders was able to break out was because they don't have forced wipes. You don't have to do the expedition. There's a much more casual audience now. That game has sort of fallen off a bit just because the developers have not updated it as much as they should have. But I think a Battle Royale set in the Halo universe would have done much better than an extraction shooter. Now, we also see this problem with Battle Royales where a lot of people are just sort of sick and tired of them, over them, but I think that it would have been a much safer bet.
The extraction shooter is, you see this all the time, whether it's whether it is a Battle Royale game, whether it's, it's like gameplay like Halo had initially, right? The Team Deathmatch. There are trends in the gaming space. And Halo was not one to chase trends. Halo was one to make trends. And it's kind of sad to see them going, let's go extraction shooter. That's kind of what it feels, almost kind of desperate. And I don't know how it fits into the lore. Decade, your thoughts on the idea of scrapping BR and going into extraction shooter?
I just think at the moment there's a lot of exhaustion. As Vara was saying, I more or less agree with everything that Vara just said. Again, like he was just saying then, it does feel like someone's annoying old uncle has come back in the room and trying to be cool with the kids. That sounds really dodgy, doesn't it? If they're going to do something with Halo, they just need to do something a bit more fresh that people actually want, rather than trying to bolt on a load of extra features and removing ones that people like. I can't see how that's going to work for them.
Well, I think the general response in the comments is, we just want classic Halo. Just give us classic Halo, right? Give us why we love this franchise, or why we loved this franchise. Just give us what we previously had, which actually ties kind of close to what's going on with Xbox. Did you see this post yesterday?
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes,
does anyone do death matches anymore? Or is that kind of a dead genre now?
I would say it's fairly dead. Yeah, that was a product of like the late 2000s into the early 2010s. It's certainly not like BR is.
It's not totally the focus anymore for a lot of these games like they used to be. It used to be, oh my God, if I have a game that could be turned into multiplayer with TDM, we're going to add that. Right.
Well, yesterday, Xbox came out of nowhere. This is a very odd post to kind of pop out there over on X. They just, with this post, we are Xbox. And I have learned since then, this is apparently their new branding for Xbox. This is the brand new logo. This was the previous logo. Here's the logo now. They've gone back to the classic green. And apparently, as indicated by the new CEO of Xbox, Asha Sharma, they are ditching the Microsoft gaming branding and going straight back to Xbox. Like they're just totally ditching all of it. And I guess this is one of the big moves right here. Kind of returning back to its roots, which, got to be honest, kind of on board with that. I know there's a lot of skepticism when it came to her, but I saw this post here and I thought this made a lot of sense. Is Asha Sharma becoming CEO of Xbox only 2 months ago, and she's already done some big things for its customers. Cut Xbox Game Pass Ultimate from $29.99 to $22.99 per month. Announced Project Helix, codename for the next-gen console. Replaced the Microsoft Gaming, going back simply to Xbox. Scrap the "This is an Xbox" marketing campaign, by the way. That's a great move, because that was a horrible campaign. Committed to human-crafted games and rolled out low-quality AI content. Boosted direct fan engagement on X with faster responses and updates. There's a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to believe that she actually cares, but making your logo green and canceling a campaign that was roasted by millions upon millions of people. These are all just like very okay moves. Like I don't see anything that she's doing right now and going, oh my gosh, this actually proves they're listening. Sure, lowering the price of Game Pass Ultimate is a good move. I do definitely agree. But like that's not also just her decision. That's a team of people that said to themselves, okay, we need to do something and we need to do something quick. But that's the only real move I think at this point that she has made that looks like there's some change on the horizon, you know, that we've heard apparently they've canceled over the past year dozens of games, but yet they're still putting out titles like, I don't know, South of Midnight. They're still putting out titles like Fable. They were planning on banking on Avowed and Outer Worlds 2, and the only reason they're not banking on those anymore is because they completely failed. And we know that they're still ditching classic Halo in order to push trends and chase trends with games like the extraction shooter. And so, you know, I do get that there's people that want to be hopeful, and I also do want to be hopeful because at one point in time I did really love Xbox, but we need to see what games they're banking on in the future and what they're actually doing with those before I could say, oh yeah, they're actually listening. Because like one good move after they've made 500 bad moves doesn't make up for the problems that they now have. You know, like where is Elder Scrolls 6, for example? That's nowhere on the horizon. What were they banking on? Starfield? Like these are major problems.
Lady Decade, your thoughts on the moves that Xbox is making?
Obviously, like I put up videos being very, very critical of Asha Sharma and felt like she was just trying to be very much like down with the kids type mentality, and the fact that she hasn't been a gamer previously, and I feel like she needs a room full of people to tell her what to think sometimes. I do think that was a good face move by lowering the price of Game Pass, because that was too expensive for what it is. But yeah, there needs to be something really, really drastic to happen for me to go over to it. I feel like almost it's kind of like, I mean, from our point of view as gamers, we've been burned too many times recently over the last few years. And like Vara was saying about some of the stuff that they have backed and then released, and then when you think about some of the stuff that's been cancelled recently, it just seems like she needs to do an awful lot more for, I think, people to actually start having any kind of faith in her. At the moment, there's not enough there.
Well, it definitely seems like Xbox is people. You know, you mentioned this is kind of like a PR move right now, and a lot of it seems like, because I've seen a lot of Xbox stories pop up. Apparently, they are reportedly testing a new feature that will allow players to build their own Game Pass subscription, so to enable users to choose the specific features they want and remove the ones they don't. So that's good, I guess, in theory. You know,
I love that we're getting
there.
right back to like cable subscriptions now, like where now you're choosing the pet. This was so predicted. It's hysterical.
We also have this shared insights. Another company will decide on future game exclusives. Xbox will adapt a data-driven and strategic approach guided by core principles rather than rushing into decisions. We want to make the right decision, not the fastest decision, she explained. Well, that's good.
I've been on board. Like I was one of the very, very few that once I heard about their the project with Helix, like I was just like, oh, I think actually Xbox is on the right track. I was like one of the very few people to think that, because like one of the biggest problems that Xbox has now, having lost several generations pretty poorly, is that the more and more you have, like, let's say a PlayStation gamer buying games, well, the bigger their digital library becomes. And then it's just like, well, when you're going to shop for that next console, you're going, well, shit, even if I wanted the other one, I've got so many games that really it makes sense to stay in the ecosystem. Whereas with Helix, from my understanding, and it could be wrong, is that there's this move to what is inevitably the future of PC gaming, is that, okay, but you can bring your PC library now onto this, overrides that whole problem you had with, you know, having lost to PlayStation for a while. So I actually think it's a smart move if they really start leaning into that PC market. It sounds like that's what they're doing.
I was going to say, sometimes I feel like rather than sitting there in a room filled up with executives with pads and pens and bits of paper going, oh, well, perhaps we should do this, perhaps. I think they just need to go out and find a group of normal gamers who game regularly and bring them into these round table meetings so that normal gamers can actually say, well, this is what we want, and this is what we want, and this is what we want. Make it happen.
It would have been so easy. Like you gave me, I've been waiting for it. You just give me Perfect Dark. I would have bought that system. You give me some exclusives. I would have been up entirely. I've been waiting for Xbox just to go back to gaming, and they just haven't.
Well, we have going back to the logo here. Some people are really happy with it. As the logo change maybe does represent a shift in philosophy here, and people have pointed out, this is pretty good. And someone says, now it's your turn, PlayStation. So people are putting pressure on them to kind of return and add a little bit of color back to their logo here, which somebody actually did. Would love to. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah. Love it. It's time for minimalism to go away. It's always a garbage aesthetic, in my opinion.
A little bit of personality to it. Vera, did you like that look?
I mean, I kind of do. A little gay, but that's all right.
That's why I love it.
Yeah. I just, again, I don't think that changing the color of your logo indicates a big company shift. And I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, they're adding the green back into the Xbox logo. I mean, yeah, they are, but that doesn't mean that Xbox is going to be what it once was.
No, I think it's a little hope. I mean, because it's been really pretty dreadful over on the Xbox. I mean, there was talks of it just being dead completely. So I think you can tell how bad it's been there. That when you just change the color of the logo and add a little glow to it, that suddenly we're back, baby. Here we come.
Yeah, I don't know though, because Project Helix is a hybrid it's a hybrid, so it isn't just a console, and they want to replace PC gaming and have it be a set-top box. So it's like they're giving up on console gaming to bank on PC gaming, and that also is sort of against what people are almost expecting. I think a lot of people don't truly know the scope of Helix, and they're like, oh my God, they're going to go back to the 360 days. They're not. They're still moving away from that. So
this is more PC, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But that's the smarter move. In my opinion, that's way smarter. Consoles are dead. I mean, from my understanding, consoles, it essentially is the same group of people that keep buying it, but we're not really seeing a whole lot of growth of new people buying a console. Right. So I think the switch to, I think it's really perfect because you get someone that's not into PC gaming, but okay, it's a console, but it has that functionality. You get someone like me who may go, I want it for merely the Xbox, but then, oh shit, okay, you know what? Oh, there's this PC only game. Okay, and I can play it, and I can play it on my couch. All right. And you slowly, have that little evolution going of creeping that PC market into someone who would have normally not been a PC. I actually think it may be a smart move.
That would be me. What you've just said, that would be me. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. It goes back to actions, right? Actions, and maybe it's something as simple as changing the logo back to a nice green to have a little nostalgia attached to it, and then maybe there'll be bigger moves down the line. I do feel like there's definitely distrust when it comes to Xbox right now. There's definitely a little bit of that, and it needs to be re-earned here.